Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kayla Nicole 999. This is 90 Days to Recovery After Narcissistic Abuse. Today is Friday, December 4th, 2020, and this is going to be the video for day 21. Please excuse my parking lot and the dark vehicle and bad lighting and everything else. I am in between passengers right now. So I decided to record this video, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to talk about today. But we're going to talk about bullying, specifically cyberbullying. And really, the reason I want to talk about this is because my narcissistic ex-best friend and all of her friends cyberbullied me for years. Although we're moving past that, and we're going to talk about some teenagers that decided to cyberbully me and other people for absolutely no reason on Twitter today. And they really don't understand that they did anything wrong. And I kind of went off on them, like, not in a terrible way. I wasn't calling them derogatory names, but so here's what happened. Somebody mentioned that they were 37 on Twitter, and I responded stating that, I'm 36. However, apparently there's a lot of people out there who think that I still look like I'm 26, and I'm appreciative of that. I'm glad to look young for my age. And these random teenagers that I have never interacted with before decided to add me to their list of old. They just had a list titled old. And they were adding multiple people that they had never interacted with to this list. And when I went to the list, it said something about hurry up and die already, you old bag of bones, or something like that. I don't remember. It's on my Twitter. I took a screenshot of it and showed people what I was dealing with. And so I reposted that, and I was like, am I supposed to be offended or something? I don't remember exactly what I said. Everything's all on my Twitter. And then I posted on my own page. I said, if you have nothing better to do with your time, then add people to your list of old, in quotation marks, people on Twitter. You're wasting your life. Well, they got really offended by it, and they started literally commenting, and they're like, all we did was call you old. What's the problem? You're making a big deal of this. Blah. Well, it triggered me. It triggered me especially because I had been harassed and stalked and bullied by my ex-best friend and all of my old friends for 2 years. Of course this is going to trigger me. So then these kids started trying to tell me that I was the problem, and I sat there and I said, do not gaslight me into thinking that my reaction is the problem. They tried to play the age card on me. We're just teenagers. And I said, you don't get to play the teenage age card, I kind of just put them in their place. Well, then they got incredibly pissed. So then they took it a step further. They called me hag. Oh, and then they tried to ask for my OnlyFans link, and, my response to that, I didn't even respond, but what I wanted to say is, well, if I'm such a hag, why would you want my OnlyFans? Also, in the back of my head, I was thinking, you guys just told me you're teenagers. No, I am not going to personally give you a link to adult websites. I'm not fucking stupid. I am not giving anyone under 18 links to my websites, but if I'm such a hag, why would you want that in the first place? I forgot what else they called me. I took a screenshot of it, and I ended up just blocking these children, but they just kept commenting and kept commenting. They wouldn't leave it alone. And I kept posting things on my own page instead of interacting with them, because I knew if I continued to interact with them, then the petty drama was just going to continue. I posted something on my own page about, before you go around adding people, or I don't know, before you go around calling people old on the internet, you may want to fully grasp the concept of age discrimination, because age discrimination is a huge thing. And yes, these are teenagers and they probably know nothing about age discrimination, but it's still absolutely not okay for these teenagers to be treating random strangers like this on the internet. And they continue to do it because they continue to get away with it. People don't put them in their place. They continue to do it because these teenagers, for whatever reason, maybe they're not getting enough attention at home. I don't know what their reason is, but they are desperate for attention. These teenagers are lacking self-love, and they are trying to pad their own fragile ego by insulting other people, and it's not okay. And honestly, you know, a lot of today's parents are at fault for this. I was a teacher, after school teacher for a year, and I can't tell you how many parents are just letting their kids do whatever they want. They have no rules, they have no boundaries, their children have no consequences for breaking the non-existent rules. You know, there's no repercussions for their actions. And the parents justify this by saying, oh, well, I need to let my child express themselves. Okay, absolutely. To an extent, you need to let your child express themselves. However, when your child is just being mean, you need to step in and you need to put a stop to it. This is how bullying begins. This is how narcissists are created, by their parents. These kids go around treating people like absolute shit and having no repercussions for their actions. And everyone says, oh, well, kids will be kids. That is played out rhetoric. Kids like that grow up to be incredibly mean, narcissistic people, like my ex-best friend, who decided to stalk and harass me on social media for 2 years, all because she was mad at me. 2 years after I stopped talking to her. 2 years after I stopped talking to her ex-boyfriend. 2 years after I stopped talking to everyone in that group. If someone doesn't put a stop to the bullying that these kids are doing, they're unfortunately most likely going to grow up to be an adult like her. And that's scary to me. It's very scary to me. So, you know, what's the best course of action to deal with bullying? Well, obviously ignoring it. But at the same time, if you ignore it, then I feel that they continue to do it to other people because, you know, they're just being ignored. So we really need to talk to our children, but really this is the parents' responsibility. You know, and there's so many parents out there that unfortunately are being mean to people. And this is like the example that they're setting for their children. And it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. We need to be teaching our children about respecting other people. We need to be teaching our children about kindness. We need to be teaching our children to not call other people names or not make fun of them for things that they can't change, like their age or some other form of disability, or, you know, their hair color, their eye color. Or I've been bullied since I was a kid, and it continued all the way through school. I ended up dropping out of school because of it. You know, I was called Casper for my white skin. People made fun of me for my nose being too big, because I lost my virginity earlier than others. And I stupidly told my friends about it, who went around and told the entire fucking school, including my guidance counselor. I was called slut all the way from middle school until I was over 18. I wasn't sleeping with that many boys, but man, I sure carried that reputation. I'm still called slut. My ex-best friends, and I have not been able to confirm this rumor with people that I trust to actually verify it, but the rumors that I've heard is my ex-best friend and the man that I loved and all of my friends from that group are calling me floor meat. Google it. Look up Urban Dictionary's definition of floor mate. Okay? These are people in their 30s and 40s doing this. It's utterly disgusting. So let's talk about reactive abuse for a minute. So these children, these teenagers, tried to tell me that my reaction to their action was the problem. They were literally attempting to gaslight me, which is the same thing that all of my old friends tried to do. They tried to tell me that my reaction to them destroying my name, destroying my reputation, running my name through the mud, vandalizing my cars, causing people to drop out of my life left and right. Well, my reaction, which was originally posting inspirational memes publicly on Facebook. That's all I did originally before I started rage writing. My reaction to their abuse was the problem. Eventually, when things just got worse and worse and worse, I decided to tell my side of the story. And that's when I really started rage writing. And, my best friend called me a piece of shit. I mean, they were just treating me terribly, and I let it all out, and I started calling her a narcissistic F&B, which was not the best way to handle things, okay? I admit that. I was in the wrong. However, was I the person being abusive? My words were definitely abusive. I'm not going to say that my words weren't abusive. They were definitely toxic, and they were definitely abusive. However, it's considered reactive abuse, and it's what happens when a person antagonizes a person and continues to push you and push you and push you and push you past your limit. Eventually, a person is going to react. And, they may say some awful things when they react because they're angry, righteously angry. But we're not the abusive people. However, those incredibly toxic people try to turn it around on us, and they attempt to gaslight us into believing that our behavior is the problem, that our reaction to their behavior is the problem. And it's not. I don't know the proper way to put these incredibly toxic people and these bullies in their place. But I do encourage you, when you see somebody being bullied and harassed, to stand up for them. Stand up to the bully. If they can't stand up themselves, step in and say something to stop it. I encourage you to really talk to your kids about bullying. I encourage you to monitor their social media accounts. I encourage you to check to see if they have social media accounts that you don't know about. Cyberbullying is rampant, and it's because of social media. I watched a documentary the other night. It's called The Social Dilemma, and I really highly encourage you to watch it. At the end, it gives some statistics about how suicide rates in teenagers are up. But what's even more disturbing is suicide rates in preteens, ages 10 to 14, which were virtually non-existent years back. I don't remember the exact dates. They're up. Children aged 10 to 14 are committing suicide. And a lot of it has to do with cyberbullying. And it's up to you as parents to set a better example for your children. It's up to you as parents to establish rules, to establish boundaries, and to teach your children that there are repercussions if they break those rules. You can't just let your kids go out and do whatever they want. Those of you parents that are doing that, you are just helping to raise a society of narcissists, and it needs to stop. I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. As always, thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. And if you have anything to say to me, then feel free to chat with me in the comments. If you want to stay subscribed with me, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. I haven't been adding them into the last few videos. I just need to catch up. I can't add some of that stuff until after my videos have posted, so hopefully tomorrow I will catch up on that. And as always, I will be adding some links to this video. I'm probably going to try to find some videos discussing cyberbullying because it's most relevant to this topic. And once again, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a wonderful night or day, morning, whatever time it is, wherever you're at, and I will see you guys again real soon. Bye-bye.